On today's video, my friend Steve's 1972 MGB. He's been doing a full restoration. It started 3 years ago. He's got a YouTube channel named Maggie's Makeover, and at $37,000 at this point. How is this restoration coming along? Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike the Baldadonis, and I buy and sell cars as a hobby, and I bring you guys along with me, showing the pros and cons of each vehicle I buy. I do travel videos throughout New England, and I talk about my life experiences. All right guys, before we get into it, I sold my 2011 Volvo C30 R Design, one of 400 made with a 6-speed. I sold it to a great couple named Matt and Krista. They live in Delaware. They flew to Boston, then took an Uber to my house 35 minutes away. We went to the local DMV, picked up a set of temporary plates, and they drove the car home all the way back to Delaware. So I want to thank you guys very much. My videos helped them make that decision to fly up here and pick the car up, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right guys, let's get into it. Imagine having a car, Boston Talk for automotive, a car, 49 years. That's a long time. All right, so when Steve decided that he wanted to restore Maggie, well, I wanted to film a few episodes for my channel. Meanwhile, he's doing his own channel, Maggie's Makeover. He's done a bunch of videos, step by step, of taking everything apart. All right, so at $37,000 at this point, everything's removed. The body has been restored, painted, and it's back at the shop. Now he has to do the painstaking put together of this vehicle. So in this clip, before we get to Steve, you're gonna see when I first see Maggie, how it looks. In this picture, everything is gone, stripped out of the car. And right now, what it looks like when I seen her just a few days ago. So as you can see, it's come a long way. So now let's talk to Steve.
Hey, so I'm Steve, and this is my 1972 MGB called Maggie. Now, I bought Maggie in 1977 as a commuter car when I was in college at the University of Lowell. And I drove her until 1981, and then I took her off the road for over 40 years, and I started this restoration about 3 years ago. Now, for those of you on Mike's channel who have been following along, the first year was really focused on taking Maggie's engine out of the car and having that sent off to be rebuilt. I have a YouTube channel called Maggie's Makeover. There's a great video on there of that engine rebuild if you want to see the details about it. Second year was really spent stripping the interior of the car and underneath the hood and the trunk. And so we spent that second year basically taking this car down to a rolling chassis. I did do the front suspension on the car, and probably about, I think it was a July timeframe, this car was transported up to British Body and Coach Works to undergo the body restoration, which you can see. We just got the car back, I think last week, in fact. And as you can see, I mean, this is a 50-something-year-old car. It looks brand new. In fact, it's actually better than brand new. Now, the details of what the car went through from a body restoration standpoint of view, there are basically 5 steps towards that. I will be putting out on my YouTube channel, Maggie's Makeover, videos of each of those steps. So the first step is really after the car was media blasted, an assessment of its condition and what was going to have to be done to it from a body perspective to get it to this state. Second episode is really focused on all of the metal work that had to be done, the cutting out of the floorboards, all of the rust, the patch panels, We sectioned in a new part of the front fender, repaired a pretty bad job, patch job that was done there with the car, and a new aluminum hood. So all of the metal work will be covered in the second episode. The third episode is actually the application of all of the urethane primers to shape the car and get the lines perfect for all of the body panels as you look down the car and you look at the gaps. The fourth episode will be on the actual painting of the car. I put 2 GoPro cameras in the paint booth, and you'll actually see the application of not only this beautiful British Racing green, but the clear coat as well. And then the fifth episode is really, once the car has been painted, what do you have to do to the clear coat? What's the polishing and buffing you have to do for it to have this beautiful shine? And so those are 5 episodes that are coming up. If you want to see those details, head on over to Maggie's Makeover. So now what's in store for the car going forward to finish the restoration? As I mentioned before, the engine was already rebuilt. That's actually over there. And so, first of all, the wire harness has to go back in the car. That was pulled, a new wire harness. All of the lines, the braking fuel lines have to be put back in the car. The pedal box where the accelerator and brake pedal and clutch pedal, that has to be put back in. All of the stuff on the interior of the hood, all of the fuse boxes, all of that stuff has to go back into the car. The engine then has to go back into it along with the gas tank so that we can get this car mechanically operating properly. And then the last phase of this is actually doing the interior of the car. Now, I estimate I'm still probably, things never go as fast as you want them to go, particularly when I'm filming all of this. I think we're still probably somewhere between a year or 2 years before this car gets fully completed. And so, you know, when you're doing a car restoration like this, a big part of it is actually picking out the color. And you really have like one shot to get that right, because once the car is painted, it's painted and you got to live with it. So Maggie's original color was more of a bluish green color. And I kind of really liked the British Racing green. However, MG's British Racing green, even the darker part of that, was still a little too light for me. I leaned more towards a Jaguar British Racing green. And so Mark LeBlanc up at British Body and Coachworks, I worked with him to actually get to this color. And there's a story behind that. He showed me some pictures of a Austin Healey that he did and a Triumph TR6. I looked at both of those. I gave him feedback on what I thought about those. And the TR6 was actually a little too light. And I wanted it to go darker. He spray painted out 3 test panels for me. And I took those and I picked the middle one. So when the body tub of this car, including the inside of the hood, was painted, I came back up and I looked, and there were 2 things wrong with it that I didn't like. It was too light, and also there was a very rough finish to it. And in one of my episodes, I go through how episode 11 on my channel, how I picked out a body shop. I trailered her to 4 different body shops, and there's a reason why I picked British Body and Coachworks, because the people who went there said, if something happens during the restoration of the body that you don't like, Mark is a stand-up guy and he'll fix it. So I went to Mark and I told him, color's too light, and I think there's something going on with the paint that you sprayed on it because it just feels too rough. To Mark's credit, and he stands behind this, his British Body and Coachworks, the name of his company, he actually resanded the whole inside of the hood, tracked down the fact that there was something wrong with the paint, the hardener in it, which caused the roughness, and he actually repainted the inside of the hood that was going to be seen. And so that's how we arrived upon this beautiful, beautiful British Racing green that's gonna look just awesome with a tan interior. You know, one of the things that needs to be done with this car when you're reassembling it, believe it or not, every hole that a screw goes in, you have to tap those out so that the screw can actually go in. So there'll be considerable time spent on that when reassembling it. Now, one of my biggest fears when it comes to the reassembly of this car is how do you put it back together without damaging it, right? You got tools, you're moving in and out of around the car, and it's just, you want to get this work done. It's going to be on my mind, I know, but I know there's going to be times where I'm going to be focusing on assembling the part or whatever, and I'm going to forget the fact that I don't want to damage the car and damage might happen to it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to protect this car with covers over the fenders and the various areas as I reassemble it. I'm still in the process of trying to source those. For example, there should be something that goes over the entire front nose of this car with the hood up that covers the fenders, the nose, this top part as I'm working on the engine bay, and similarly on the trunk. So I'm trying to source those materials right now, but that's a big concern that I have, and one that as I put this car back together, I'm going to try to minimize any damage that happens to it. So if you're contemplating doing a restoration like this, the first thing I suggest you do is sit down. If you're married or you have a partner, have the conversation with them, because these restorations aren't cheap. And so I actually did that with my wife. She supports me in this activity, and I can't thank her enough for that. So when you think about this restoration, what we've done to date on the body, I actually got an estimate from British Body and Coach Works when I brought the car up there, and they reviewed it, episode 11 on Maggie's Makeover. You can see that. They gave me a range of 20 to 25. Why a range? Because you don't know until you have the car media blasted what the actual damage is. In this particular car, there was some repairs done to the front. There was a front fender sectioned in, a horrible job on that. There were some patch panels done in the back, some pretty bad jobs done on that. And so you don't really know the condition of the car until you have it media blasted. So when it was media blasted, we found out. You'll see that in the first episode of the body restoration. And so this car has over 600 hours into the restoration of the body alone, and at $125 an hour, I don't know what the number is, but it's well over $50,000 or $60,000. And so when you think about that, British Body and Coach Works gave me an estimate from 20 to 25, and to their credit, they charged me the upper end of that range at $25,000, and that's one of the reasons why I went to them, is that they're very fair to the person who's having the car restored. So $25,000 for just the body alone. I am to date at around $37,000 on this restoration. When you include the transmission overdrive and engine rebuild that was done on the car, that was $6,200, I think, alone on that. The refurbishment, rebuilding of the whole front and rear suspension as well, right, is thrown into additional. On top of that, where am I going to be when this car is completely done? I'm estimating by the time I finish it and the new interior goes in, it's going to be 45, maybe somewhere between 45 and 50. And I know some of you are out there saying, oh my God, why would you spend that much money on a car that, truth be told, if I put this on, bring a trailer, best case scenario, maybe $25,000. So why am I double spending on the restoration of this car? And it all goes back to the fact that I got sentimental attachment to this car. It was my commuter car that I drove in college. I've always said that these are like time machines. And I know when I get back in this car and I drive it, it's just going to be an amazing feeling. It's going to take me back to a wonderful time in my life. In addition to that, my daughter has an interest in this car. And so when my time is done with the car, she's going to basically inherit this car, and it's going to become hers. And I wanted to make sure I give her a car that's mechanically sound and looks beautiful. She actually, I interviewed her. There's an episode in my channel. She actually has plans to use this car in movies at a future date. So doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but that's why I'm spending all this money on this beautiful car. So a lot of people ask me, Steve, you're 3 years into this restoration and all you have is a rolling chassis. Like, I mean, how much longer is it going to take you? As I said, I think it's another year to 2 years to complete this project. A lot of people say, what keeps you moving forward, Steve, right? How do you get through that valley of restoration despair, which is real if you're doing one of these projects? The first 2 years on this car, 3 years on this car was just ripping it apart piece by piece. You actually feel like you're destroying the car, getting further away from the final end state of it. And so valley of restoration despair is a real thing. How do you power through that? For me personally, I have a vision of what this car is going to be like. And I keep that forward in my head as I work on this car. Car restoration is not a destination. It's actually a journey that you're going through. And so I kind of keep that perspective. I keep that forward vision. But one of the things that really helped me is I actually went out and bought a fully restored one for probably a quarter of the price that I'm spending on this car. And I drive that car back and forth to this garage. His name is Morris. He's a 71 red MGB, beautiful car. And driving in that car reminds me of where I'm headed with this car. And so kind of unconventional, buying one that's fully restored while you're working on here. But I think that's actually was a smart thing to do.
For those of you thinking about doing your own frame-off restoration, think twice about it. Hours upon hours, the project will own you.
All right, as you can see, he is driving Morris, another restored MGB, while he's restoring Maggie. Nice life, Steve. Nice life. But anyways, he will be selling that car when Maggie is done. So will I get it? I don't know. Will his daughter get it? I don't know. But somebody's going to come out with a beautiful red restored MGB when Maggie is all done. All right, so we'll go back in about 6-7 months and see how things have come along. Hopefully something will be put together by then. Engine might be in there. Who knows? But we'll go back in 6-7 months, the end of the summer, and see how Maggie is coming along. So I have plenty of videos still coming up. So stay tuned. Until the next video, Baldadonis out.